Hey everyone, Dan here from fpgeeks.com, and today I'm reviewing this pen, the Omas Ogiva Vision Limited Edition. Now this pen is available in two versions, the blue cotton resin with rose gold trim, and the green translucent resin with the high-tech rhodium plated trim that you see here. Each version will be limited to 150 pieces, and both pens will come with an 18 karat nib in sizes extra fine to broad, or a 14 karat extra flexible nib in extra fine to medium. That nib will be an additional charge, and you have to check with your preferred retailer for pricing information there. But both nibs will come with similar plated trim, so they'll match with the rest of the pen. Now the Omas Ogiva Vision, it lists at $695, which is a little high, but retailers are actually selling this for closer to $550, which is a little bit more reasonable. So let's take a closer look at this thing. Alright, let's start off with a look at the packaging this pen comes in. It's very well packaged, it's very sturdy, very high quality, and taking the cover off, you'll see a silver box, some of the pen information on the side there, and opening it up, on the inside of the lid it says Italian creativity, history, craftsmanship, the pleasure of writing. And pulling this little tab up here, we find kind of a secret compartment with a card congratulating you on your purchase, and then a little information slash warranty booklet. Includes some pretty nice images, definitely worth a quick flip through if you do purchase this pen. Putting that all back together, let's take a closer look at the pen itself. It does come in its own protective sleeve, which I do find very useful, and the pen is wrapped in a cellophane package with a sticker keeping it closed to make sure it doesn't slide out. But you peel that open and the pen slides out somewhat freely, if I can. There we go. So there it is. It's a pretty good looking pen, and we'll take a closer look here. Taking a general look over the pen, we see that it has that very rounded, classic cigar shape to it that I think will be very pleasing to a larger audience than, say, something like the Omas 360. One feature I do really like about this pen is the shape of the clip. I really like the design, and it functions very well. Now on this blue one, the roller wheel is made of lapis, and on the green pen, it's actually made from green agate. The clip provides a lot of tension to keep it exactly where you place it, but I found it a bit difficult to operate with one hand. Around the cap band, you'll find Omas common Greek key pattern, this one in rose gold plated brass, and the green one rhodium plated brass. With the cap removed, we can get a closer look at the nib and the continuation of the Greek key design around the section band. As I rotate it, be sure to note the ebonite feed that come in all of these pens. It does an excellent job providing perfect flow to the nib. This nib in particular is a fine 18 karat gold nib, and if we take a look at the section, we can see that this pen is number 55 of 150. One thing I didn't care for about this pen was the piston filler. The action was stiff, and the piston was very sticky throughout the entire barrel. Just listen as I operate it. It didn't make for a very good experience when having to fill the pen. One thing I do really like about these pens is the translucent cotton resin. Now, personally, I think the royal blue one here is a bit too dark for my taste. I'd like to see it a little more transparent, like the emerald green version. Omas did get the inner cap right though. It is a transparent resin, whereas on like the vintage 360 turquoise, it was a black inner cap, which I really felt ruined the overall look of the pen. Now this pen is sized very well. It's rather large, but that cotton resin keeps it light. Posting it makes the pen even more comfortable, in my opinion. It really fits the hand nicely and is balanced quite well. Now let's see just how well this pen performs. Now if you remember, with the 360 it did have a slightly flexible nib, and this pen has that same nib in it. The fine nib produces a very fine line true to size, but if you put a little effort into it, you can get those tines to open up and get a nice variation in line width that you see here. And it does provide a good contrast from no pressure fine line to moderate pressure flexed line. And the feed doesn't have any problem keeping up. I've done lots of writing doing lots of flexing with all different kinds of inks, and the feed just continues to provide a perfect flow, although it is slightly wet, but that's perfect in my book. I was really impressed by how smooth this nib is in both its flexed and unflexed states. Now usually when you flex a nib, the tines spread and you'll catch a little bit of that inside sharp edge. This nib doesn't appear to have that, and the writing experience is just as good if you're not flexing it or if you are flexing it. And here we can see some more line variation coming out of it. And it's just so much fun to do. I really enjoyed writing with this pen and just couldn't get enough of that flex. If you're at all familiar with vintage flex, you'll notice that this probably doesn't compare to even a semi-flex vintage nib, but for a modern pen, it's pretty darn good. So there you go, the review of the Omas Ogiva Vision Limited Edition. If you're interested in this pen or have any questions about it, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Also check out the links in the description for our full written review. I just want to thank Kenro Industries for allowing us to review this pen, and as always, please do your part to
indulge in the madness.